Hello, my name is Xonevant, and today I wanted to talk a little bit more about my job. I brought this up in yesterday's video. There's some cool things that are happening at my job that's going to allow me to not only get my work done, but be able to make more YouTube videos for you guys. So let's talk about all the details right here on episode 54. So if you guys can think back to last year, probably around, I'd say like the end of July, August, something like that, you guys know that the client that I used to deal with decided to, back off on some projects he had going on and didn't really need me anymore. I'd been with him for probably three and a half years. And, because he was just backing down a bit on his projects, I kind of had to go my own separate way. And so I basically thought to myself, well, I can go out and try to find more clients, but if that doesn't happen quick enough, then I don't have any income, right? Because that was the only income I had coming in at the time, was people that I was doing projects for. And I had actually gotten rid of a lot of my clients and only kept that client because that client paid me enough money to pay all of my bills. And so I decided to do that so I could focus on YouTube. So back in the day, I was kind of doing YouTube full-time, even though not really, right? Because full-time would mean that I was only doing work for YouTube. But because he needed me kind of on a limited basis, then I would basically get all my projects done for him and then do YouTube all day long. And I really do feel like that's when this channel was in its prime. And ever since that day, man, I got to tell you, I have been fighting to keep this channel alive. I mean, fighting. There are days when I get home and I'm super tired, and I'll still put a video up, or I'll still try to, play through a game or something like that. And it's been extremely tough, but we're still here. But there's one thing that I've learned over the last year, and that is there's no way possible. There is simply not enough man hours in the day for me alone to run this channel the way it needs to be ran. If I'm working so many hours at the job and I'm working like an 8 to 5 type schedule, or 8 hours a day, however you want to put that piece of the puzzle together, if I'm out of my house for 8 to 12 hours a day, there's simply no way for me to get home and put the time and energy into making these videos for you guys. And trust me, if there was a way, I would have found it. I've tried everything. I've even moved, right? I used to think, well, the main reason why I can't get videos up is because I live with other people. So I moved. You guys know I moved beginning of the year, and I was like, that's going to solve everything. But the one thing it can't solve is my energy levels, right? When I get home, I'm pretty tired, because I'm working these long shifts sometimes, and I just want to go to bed. But this is where we get into the good news. Here recently, probably within the last, I'd say, month and a half, we did some contracts at my job. We basically set up some contracts that stated what each individual person is supposed to do, right? Kind of like a task list, if you will. And now that I have that in play, it really doesn't matter when I get that stuff done. The only thing that matters is that it gets done. And so what's been happening over the last month and a half is that I've been trying to knock out a major project that was assigned to me, and that is to complete an inventory over our entire warehouse. Now, some of you guys know this, but some of you may not, is we basically do a lot of online selling. And so we're constantly having to post items, on the website so they can sell. And then obviously people buy them. And then part of my job is to ship that product out to our customers. But what's been keeping me from doing that at a very efficient rate is that our inventory was really kind of out of whack, right? Like what happened is this business grew out of someone's home, and it grew at a very fast pace, right? And then it became a warehouse, and there was all this product, and steps weren't taken at the beginning, right, to do a proper inventory so that it could grow. You see what I'm saying? And so we were kind of left with, items not being on the racks they were supposed to be on, or the quantities being off on stuff that we had. And it was kind of a mess, right? And so there was no way around not doing an inventory. Now, I can't really tell you exactly how many items we have. I can say it's probably, and I'll probably lowball it here. I don't know, maybe like 3,000 to 4,000, maybe even more items that we have in our warehouse. And so you can just imagine how long it would take to do a proper inventory in a space that big. But I've been going in there, guys, putting in some work. And going back to what I said in yesterday's commentary, when I said I went in there and worked for like 25 hours straight, that's because I wanted to get the inventory done. Because once I get the inventory finished, because right now I am working, most of the time I'm working, 8-hour days. Once I get the inventory finished, that's a major part of my contract that's completed. Then the only thing left on my contract is, back end office stuff I have to do. I have to do quality checks to make sure that quantities are correct. And I have to condense the warehouse, shuffle product around to make space for new products, stuff like that. And obviously I have to ship, every day. But here's the cool thing, and this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. The cool thing about this contract and the way that my job is going right now is that I could go in at the beginning of the week. Let's just say our official work week starts on Saturday and ends on Friday. So I could go in on a Saturday and maybe even a Sunday and work some really long shifts. In other words, condense all of my major projects down into those 2 days. Then on, let's say, Monday through Friday, I just come in for maybe less than 4 hours a day, and I simply ship, all the items that we've sold out to our customers. So I'm still going to be putting in, a lot of hours per week, roughly 30 to 40 hours a week, but I'm not doing it like stretched over 5 days, like 8 hours a day. You see what I'm saying? I'm taking the first 2 days of the week and I'm just smashing in all of my projects, right? And then when I wake up on Monday and I go in, because our shipping day starts at 4 a.m. And so if I go in at 4, I'm done by 8. Some days I'm going to be done by 6, right? It depends on how much needs to be shipped. But my point is that once I'm done, I come home and I'm home by, let's say, 8:30, and I don't have to go back into work until the next day at 4 a.m. Whereas right now, when I get home about 8 or 9 in the morning, I have to be back, anywhere between like 5 and 8. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm doing overnights and people are coming in overnight to work with me and that sort of stuff. And I have a key to the building. Some people don't have keys to the building, so I have to be there to let them in, that sort of stuff. So you can imagine getting home at, 8:30 in the morning and grabbing a nap. I usually sleep till about 1. When I get up, that only leaves me roughly, 4 hours or so sometimes to get a video up. And it's impossible to do that. So you're probably wondering, well, how far are you into this inventory? Like, how long is this going to take, man? We want some videos, bro. I hear you. Right now, I am on letter S. Now, to put this into perspective, obviously our inventory starts with the letter A and runs to Z. Now, granted, it's kind of hard to tell you guys exactly how the letters break down. These are basically locations where we can find things in the warehouse. But just think of it like that, A to Z. I'm on letter S. And I made up a calendar probably about a month and a half ago, and I had it broken down by day, and I had the inventory ending at the end of July, basically the last day of July. That's basically like the worst case scenario, right? That's me doing like 1 rack a day. You know what I mean? Because we have so many racks represent 1 letter in our inventory. So, the A location might be 3 racks. So I'll be doing 1 of those racks per day. And I thought that was a good estimate to see when I could get this thing done. I can tell you though, that because I've been putting in these long days and these overnights, that not only am I on letter S, but I am right now exactly 9 days ahead of schedule, which is really good because that means I could potentially get finished well before that July date. So what am I actually trying to say here? Well, I'm trying to say that I will be coming back to YouTube full time when this inventory is done. Now, you guys know, man, that I'm dangerous when I can do YouTube full time. I remember when I covered Medal of Honor and Assassin's Creed, right? They had about a week difference of when they came out. Medal of Honor came out on a Tuesday. I think Assassin's Creed came out on the following Tuesday. So that only left me about 7 days to platinum, or I think I was playing on an Xbox, to 1,000 gamer score Medal of Honor. I did a road to completion for that game, and I finished it on Friday. Tuesday through Friday, 4 days, guys, done with the entire game. That left me the weekend to get my graphics ready for Assassin's Creed. Got that on the following Tuesday, and then started that game. All the games you look back in the history of the channel, if you look at the timestamps, you'll see that there was a day when I was doing YouTube full time and I could get out 12 to 16 videos a day. We're talking like 24 hours after a game is launched, I could post that many videos. And ever since I had that issue with my client last year, and you know, kind of had to go my separate way because he was cutting back a bit, it's never been that way. It's never been that way. So if we can't get me full time here, then it's just never going to happen again. And the great thing about my job and my boss and the environment out there is it has a lot of leniency, and you know, it can stretch that way. It's not like working at a Walmart or a Target or a Best Buy where, you know, you have to be there at certain times. It's all about just getting the work done. Nobody really actually cares if you get it done in the morning or at night or in the evening or whatever, right? It's just a matter of getting it done. So that's what I'm going to be spending a lot of my time on, guys, over the next month and, you know, month or two. You guys are still going to be getting videos. I'm still going to do my best to get content up, and I'm still working on Bloodborne. Dishonored is actually edited and ready to go, but I'm trying to get through Dead Space so I can launch those two personal plays at the same time so that you guys have multiple things to watch. Some of you guys are not interested in Dishonored. You just want to see Dead Space. So I'm trying not to divide the audience. So I'm trying to put those video series out at the same time. So all that stuff is ready. And, you know, I've been working hard, but I can only work so hard, right, based on the time that I have. So I just want to kind of clarify that. If I'm not making videos, or if I'm not commenting a lot or replying a lot, I'm just trying to get out there and make it happen for us as a community. Buy that time off for later, right? Sacrifice, so that we can finally get this channel back to where it should be. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you guys right back here tomorrow.